All right, boys and girls, it's time to talk about our first habitat. Now, before we do that, we need to review our continents. Let's do it together. Earth has 7 continents. I can name them all. North America, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa, Australia, Antarctica. Now, those are the 7 continents that God placed on Earth. But you know what? He also gave those continents habitats, and we talked about that in our last video. For now, we're going to talk about our first habitat. Now, before we begin, you need to get the folder that I sent home and pull out your habitat book. This one is Gregory's. Why don't you push pause and go find it, okay? All right, are you ready? Let's get started. So inside of this book, I sent several sheets of paper. Can you please pull out your ocean piece of paper? It looks like this. Miss Juvenile already colored hers in. It looks beautiful. You can color yours while we work on this video, okay? So let's get started talking about our oceans. First of all, what is an ocean made up of? Water. Right. There's so much water in the ocean. Now, in my picture, what kind of creatures do we see? I see a yellow fish and a pink fish, a starfish, a seahorse. Are those goldfish? No, goldfish don't live in the ocean. That would be so silly. And I see seahorses. Oh wait, I already said that. I see sea turtles. And I see sand and some rocks and some seaweed. Now, we need to talk about our ocean a little more specifically. There is so much to learn about our oceans, but first, can we look at our world one more time? Do you see how big this is? Is the world shaped like an oval? No, it's actually shaped like a circle. It's shaped like a circle, right? So the Earth is round, and you know what? I see a lot of blue on that Earth. What is that blue? That is the ocean. You are right. Now, let's go ahead and talk about our ocean. Look at how much more blue there is than land. Did you know there's actually more water on the Earth than land? The ocean takes up over half of the Earth. It's huge, and because of that, there is so much ocean that no human has ever explored. But let's talk about what we do know about the ocean. We know that the ocean is really big, and just like land is big and has many habitats, the ocean has a couple different habitats too. We are going to talk about 2 habitats in the ocean. The first habitat is called open water. Can you say open water with me? Open water. Open water is where there is so much deep water that things live in it. And those habitats have big animals, like huge blue whales, bigger than like 5 school buses. And that would be the baby blue whale, by the way. There are some blue whales that are as long as 20 school buses. Sharks and dolphins and octopuses also live in the deep, big blue water. A second habitat that is in the ocean is called a coral reef. Can you say that with me? Coral reef. A coral reef is made up of plants that live near a continent. Now, the deep blue water, that part of the habitat would be out here, but coral reefs would be near the continents. Coral reefs are coming off of the land and they're underwater plants. In those plant villages, those reefs, live tons of animals like, let's see, sea turtles and starfish and seahorses and oysters and clams and thousands of fish. There are beautiful fish in the ocean. Orange fish, purple fish, yellow fish, silver fish, green fish, so many different kinds of fish. So what I would like you to do is now get ready to answer some questions with me. All right, so what I need you to do is inside of here, you have some questions to answer about the ocean. The sheet of paper looks like this, okay? it's got some questions for us about the ocean that we need to answer together. I'd like you to take your pencil and write the answer, and I will write some answers on the board. Okay? Our first question is, what is the weather like in the ocean? What do you think the weather is like in the ocean? Is the ocean dry? No, it's wet. So the first thing we can write down is the ocean is wet. And I put an exclamation point. The ocean is wet. What else do we know about the ocean's weather? Well, in the middle of the ocean, there are storms in the summertime especially. So we can put down rainstorms. Not only are there rainstorms, but close to some of the continents, the ocean gets cold. In fact, if you were to visit Alaska or Antarctica, you would find that in the wintertime, some of the water freezes into ice. So we are going to write down ice and snow. Now, if I'm going too fast for you and you need to slow down to write these down, go ahead and push pause. All right, now I want you to think if I forgot any weather and write down something that you thought of, okay? We're gonna go on to our next question now. Our next question is, who lives here? Who lives in the ocean? Now this one, I want you to answer by yourself because we already talked about this. I want you to push pause and then write down as many things that live in the ocean that you can think of. All right, did you do it? I hope it went well. Our next question is, what do they eat? Now that is a very big question. Now we know that sharks eat fish, and we know that big blue whales eat krill, which are tiny fish, but what are some things that other animals eat? I'm going to tell you a couple, and then your homework is to write down what other things eat. You're gonna have to go find it out. Maybe find a book that tells you what some of the ocean animals eat, or just write down what you know. So here are a couple cool facts. Sea turtles sometimes like to eat jellyfish. Isn't that silly? But sea turtles, God made them with such a mouth that could catch and hold on to jellyfish and not be hurt. Isn't that cool? So sea turtles like to eat jellyfish. Starfish, remember they look like stars, they crawl on rocks and sand on the ground of a coral reef, and they like to eat oysters and clams and these little animals called mussels. And then crabs also crawl on the ground, and they like to eat small fish and clams that live on the ocean floor. So what I want you to do is finish the questions, okay? Color your beautiful ocean picture, finish the questions, and keep those two papers together. You won't want to lose them because we're gonna make this a part of our book at the end of the week. We'll do the next habitat tomorrow. Have fun.